Hi everyone. Those of you who have been following my channel since the very beginning might know that Rig Denial NBN is one of my so-called pet projects. Um, I've always loved the concept of an NBN deck that denies the opponent's rig. I used it in one of my first tournaments, Chronos Protocol, and then regionals last year. And until now, it still remains a very valid archetype that not many people are trying out. But I think it's pretty good. So here is my first draft at coming up with a rig denial deck in NBN. Now this is very different from what I used to play last time. Now there are so many more cards on the runner side that make it more resilient against the likes of Ichi and Grim. But on the same token, there are so many more cards that the court can now use to further suppress the runner. Blacklist in particular, as well as Chronos Project, which this deck doesn't have because they are anti-synergistic. So again, this is my first draft, and I'm showing this video not to give you a good sense of the gameplay. In fact, this video is pretty lousy. I haven't had too many good games on Steam Hack Octagon recently, and I apologize for that. Why I'm here is to take this deck to the next level by crowdsourcing for ideas. That's right, I want your ideas, your solutions as to how to make this deck better. I would appreciate your input if you can provide any. Constructive feedback, it would be much appreciated in terms of deck building. So here, I'm just going to show you a quick taster. It's my deck against Haley. This opening hand is almost certainly a mulligan because there's no ice, but I keep it anyway. Because there are lots of power shutdowns. I want to evaluate how powerful power shutdown is in the current meta. So I'm just going to speed by the first few turns. Not much to say here. Yeah. I basically draw a lot of my event economy, so I'm able to quickly burst up 21 credits. He then runs my HQ after a couple turns, stealing the NAPD, which is a very iffy decision, considering that most of the time when you see Neil out across the table, you're expecting mid-season Scorch. But of course, he responds adequately by playing plus screen to clone chip, but this plays perfectly into my plan. When I saw the clone chip on the table, it was like a shark smelling blood in the ocean. I'm going to attack. I play power shutdown and force him to trash his clone chip. So this is huge. You have to presume that he's running the clone chip SMC combo. Denying clone chip is huge. It means one less instance of him able to recur SMC, which means one less breaker on the board. And every single breaker denied is crucial. So here I get to sneak my Astro script through the table. Him having no clone chips or SMCs at all, and not too many credits, I'm feeling pretty confident that this Astro will go through, and sure enough it does. I advance it, and this allows me to fly away with the game. Well, not really, he might be playing Clot. I have to be wary of that. In the meantime, he does install an SMC, which is the most juicy power shutdown target available against Shaper. Unfortunately, he's playing well. Now that he knows that I'm running power shutdown, he does not make stray runs. He instead sets his rig up with data folding, lots of HQ interfaces, one HQ interface, and I try to bait him to run on a remote server, but it looks like he's not biting. It's just a daily business show. He continues building up with double Armitage. So he essentially has a Magnum Opus clicking for him in the background. I draw into my Astro script. So usually the play here would be to install double advance, but I have to do it under the cover of the remote in case he brings Clot out. So even if he brings Clot out in this scenario, it's a win-win for me. If he does bring the Clot out, that's one less tutor he has to stop my Astro train, and that's the other benefit about playing Rig Denial in NBN. It complements fast advanced strategies because if they try to play Clot against you, they'll have one less tutor, one less breaker to get through your ice. Once again, I'm speeding up this video. There's nothing much to see here. He basically just raids my HQ. It's very HQ-centric Haley, and of all breakers, he's using Alpha. I bet you've never seen this before. Yeah, it was released a long time ago, and there's a reason why no one's playing it. It sucks. Costing 7 to bring out is way too expensive. But he's still pretty rich, 17 credits. The only problem is that he cannot break through innermost ice, and that's a problem when you know your opponent is potentially running Lancelots. So I installed the game-winning build in the remote. Once again, I could fast advance, but there's Clot on the table. He rightfully played it out, so I'm not able to fast advance. I'll have to wait one more turn. Now here, he exploits the fact that he's so rich by vamping me. This is a very good strategy. and he would win by running my remote after resetting my credits. I should have installed the Sensen City Grid here. Nah, against Claude you don't install Sensen, but still it really hurts losing those credits. But he did not run my remote. He did not run my remote. I don't know why. So I should have won at this point. I should have double advanced the build in the remote and then proceed to Astro Token for the victory. I completely missed this line of play. It was very late in the night when I played this, so yeah, I delayed my win by one turn. But spoiler alert, after this, he did not run the server, he did not run at all, so I was able to win the next turn. So yeah, I know this doesn't show much, but if there's one thing this game shows is that power shutdown is pretty powerful. Denying him that one clone chip basically cost him the game. Because the entire game he was digging so hard for his Omega to complement his Alpha. As you see, he's playing Diesel after Diesel, drawing up to 8 cards every turn, but he could not, for the life of him, find his Omega. Without Omega, there was no way he was running. So that pretty much cost him the game. So once again, I would like to hear your input on what cards you think I should be running in this deck. Influence-wise, it's pretty flexible. You can, if you have a suggestion better than my Grail Ice Suite, or if you feel that 2 power shutdowns are enough, you can shave the third one. By all means, go for it and tell me what I should replace my spare influence with. My hope is to optimize this deck through your wonderful suggestions and make this a truly crowdsourced deck. That will be one victory for Team YouTube. Thanks for watching. Happy net running. Goodbye.